USA Monde.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to Sunday Talk episode number 4. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about how I moved from Pennsylvania to South Carolina. Okay, so I think that's when I left off the other day. I told you guys how I live in Pennsylvania, what I like about it, and now it's time for me to move to another state, which is South Carolina. I've never been to South Carolina before. Now we're gonna move. The whole family is gonna move again to South Carolina. But the thing is, once I move to South Carolina, I have to find a job, right? I have to work. So I don't have a job. So I was thinking about that. And the company I was working for, I trying to see if they can transfer me again to South Carolina, but there were no any position available in order for them to transfer me. So what I did, the company I worked for in North Carolina before I left, because they kind of like a franchise. The company I work for in North Carolina is a franchise of the one I'm working for in Pennsylvania at that time, which is the parent company. But the parent company, like I said, since they don't have any job available, so I started, looking online, and I found a position in the franchise company, the one I left in North Carolina. But the position was in Charlotte, because I used to live in Greensboro, and then the position was in Charlotte. And I remember when I was living in North Carolina, one of my the manager, the one that helped me get the job, get transferred, he told me that I can come back anytime. I remember exactly what he told me. He told me that, he said, "John, if you change your mind, you know where home is." And I was like, that kind of stuck with me till today, because when I was there, I walked my way, like I worked very hard. They noticed that too. And when I was living, they kind of shocked that I was living at that time when I was living in North Carolina to move to Pennsylvania. And he told me, if I change my mind, I know where the home is. So when I decided to, move back to the South, and I called him, I found a job in South Carolina, because we were moving to Rock Hill, South Carolina at that time. And I called him and I said, I found a position in Charlotte. Can you help me? Do you know the manager there? He's like, oh, no problem. And he even gave me the manager's number, but he told me to wait until he contact him and let him know that I'm gonna call him, stuff like that. And I called the manager. Guess what? They told me to come in. And 2 weeks later, I had an interview over the phone. I went there. I moved to South Carolina and I started working. So just to tell you that, sometime in life, when you work somewhere and it's time for you to leave, and don't think like you will never need those person or that company no more. You will never work for that company no more. Don't say that, because you never know. Things happen in life, and you end up going back to that company. But if you burn the bridges, and guess what, you will never go back. So that's what I did, and I was fine with everybody. When it's time for me to go back, they didn't even hesitate 1 minute. They told me to come back, so I went there and I started working. So I moved to Rock Hill, right? So Rock Hill in South Carolina, but I was working in Charlotte, which is in North Carolina, and where I work is it's like 45 minutes. Actually, the plant is like almost an hour from where I live. So I've been crossing the border every day back and forth. Like I said, I work in store, different store. Some of my store 30 minutes from home, some are like 45 minutes from South Carolina. So I'm doing the back and forth for every day, and it was cool. It wasn't easy, but it was cool. South Carolina is it's kind of laid back, just like in North Carolina, because like I said before I moved there, I never been there. I don't know how it looks like, but when I get there, I like it. Quiet. Find an apartment. Everything's kind of quiet. And I was working in North Carolina. And one thing that shocked me when when I was working in Charlotte, and there were some people stealing the stores, and I don't quite get it. Maybe the neighborhood too, because there are part of Charlotte that is not like that. But some of the stores I go to and work, man, some people just steal like crazy. I remember one day, a lady come in the store, and she did her groceries, shopping, all those stuff, pay her bills. I mean, pay for the merchandise she bought, and and pushing the buggy. I remember she had a baby, newborn in the car seat, and she was pushing the stroller, and like, and she gonna walk out, and she stopped. When she stopped, I was looking at her. I was like, okay. She stopped and still looking around, and I was like, okay, no, something gonna happen. This lady gonna do something. And fair enough, she she walked to the produce area and grabbed like 4 oranges, put in the bag, and then put it in the baby's stroller, and then push it out, and then walk out. And I was like, what? She did it just like it's nobody's business. It's just like, that's her own store and stuff like that. That shocked me. That shocked me. And then another one that was another store. And one day a guy came in, right, and she started stealing meat and all that, and put meat and chocolate. He been putting it inside on her clothes. I mean his clothes. And then the manager noticed him, and the manager started walking toward him, and he started walking toward the door too. And the manager was like, "Wait, I want to check what you taking, what you put inside your clothes." And this guy told the manager that, okay, if he follow him outside to the parking lot, he gonna shot him. Just like that. Just like that. He's like, if you follow me to the parking lot, I'm gonna shot you. And the manager stopped, and then the guy walked out. He walked out with the meat, the chocolate, all those stuff. He left. That was kind of shock for me, because I've been in different states, but I never seen stuff like that. I think that's, like I say, I think the neighborhood where those stores are kind of a little bad, and people just steal. The people just steal. So that was my thing. So like now in South Carolina, one thing I did, I started a business on the side, because we've been moving, a lot. And I started putting YouTube video, and I started import-export business. So exporting stuff overseas, back home, buying stuff in stores like how you call it, dollar store, and then ship them back home, so my sister can sell them, because she's the one who asked me. She knows what people want, and I start doing that, and it start bring me a little bit of money. That's one thing I did in South Carolina too, and I like it. As far as job, sometimes I've been working like from 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. to like 9 p.m. And usually I don't really take a lot of breaks. Maybe 30-minute break just to eat something. It's kind of, sometimes it's very hard, especially Tuesday and Thursday. It's very hard. And then from there I have to drive to South Carolina, drive back to South Carolina. When I get home, I get tired. I remember sometimes when I get home like 9:30, even 10 o'clock. If I have to upload video, like YouTube video for you guys, guess what? I still will upload video. Even if it's going to be 2-minute video, I will upload the video. I mean, film the video, edit it, and upload it to YouTube, so it can come out maybe on Tuesday or Friday, whatever. And sometimes I do that, because I think it's one thing, if you really love to do something, you don't, even if you're tired, you don't find a reason not to do it. You're gonna do it no matter what. I think that's what happened. And I've been uploading videos like that even when I'm so tired. And then what else? South Carolina, like I said, it wasn't a whole lot of stuff. And the main thing is just to work. Work in Charlotte area. An apartment is very expensive in Charlotte. That's one thing I noticed. Apartments are very expensive. Rock Hill is kind of like wasn't that expensive like in Charlotte. So what people do, some people live in Charlotte, but they rent an apartment in Rock Hill, or right after the border, like Fort Mill. I think Fort Mill is the name of the city. They rent an apartment there, so they do the back and forth, cross the border back and forth. But like I say, Charlotte, very expensive apartment. 1 bedroom, you can find 1 bedroom around 800, 900, even 1,000, 1,200, depending on the area too. Some bad area kind of a little cheap, but it's dangerous. You don't want to live there. It's not because of the rent, and the rent is cheap, and you're gonna risk your life and go live in those neighborhoods. But in general, I like it. Traffic also in Charlotte is very bad. Especially like rush hours, because I've been using I-77, to go to work and come back home, and sometimes I-77s can be very busy, like traffic wise, and it can take you like an hour 30 minutes to go home. Usually maybe you take 30 minutes like on normal hours, but like in rush hour it can take you like an hour 30 minutes. That's another thing I noticed too. Traffic in Charlotte. But in Rock Hill, once I get into Rock Hill, Rock Hill area, it kind of slow down a little bit and you go home. So basically, that's how I live in South Carolina. And then from there, guess what? Moved to New Jersey. And you probably wondering, why are you moving so much? Yep. There is a reason behind it, and I moved to New Jersey. So when I'm telling you some stuff, it's something I experienced myself. It's not something I just come out with. No, I experienced it. So hopefully in the next video we're gonna talk about how I moved to New Jersey. Okay. I hope you like this video. If you wanna comment, say something about it, don't hesitate. Just leave a comment below. If you ever live in South Carolina, let me know how you like it, what you like about it. We all sharing our experience. We all learning from each other. I'll see you guys in the next video.
USA Monde.